Welcome to Light Body Wisdom with internationally known light body whisperer Grace Home. She will make you laugh and yawn as you release lifetimes of trauma and begin to feel much lighter. Your divine gifts may be activated, allowing you to weave light into the fabric of the world. Are you ready to be your own light and shine? For more information about Grace, visit graceghome.com. That's graceghom.com.
Hello and welcome everybody. Welcome to Light Body Wisdom. And today we are on part 2 of the lung and large intestine meridians. And so lung and large intestines, when they're out of balance, this grief, loss, and sadness, and what's going on with COVID, I'm sensing there's a different kind of grief and grieving going on that goes beyond just personal loss to losing identity and losing a way of life. So many people feel like things are just so crazy. And innately, we all need to feel that there's some order and justice in life, but somehow there's more chaos than that. So let's just tune into that and release the sense that things are so out of order. We are losing a sense of justice and a sense of feeling grounded in the world, because everything is so chaotic that some people feel like, I just don't even feel myself anymore. So there's all kinds of losses in this crisis, right? In a crisis, we lose identity, we lose a sense of fairness, we lose, for many people, the definitions you have about who you are, even though definitions can be limiting, but sometimes we require having that to function in the world, to know who we are. So all that existential stuff that is coming up for people, wow, let's clear that. And when we can be in touch with the loss, then it is easier to recreate what we truly want. So everywhere where we feel like we are at a loss, rather than just talking about grief and grieving and losses, it's like we are at a loss about what to do in life. So everything that brings up for you, let's clear that. And for those of you who have lost jobs or even a whole career, or your company, or you're going bankruptcy, it's one loss after another that's piling up. So it's like a whole way of life. Let's clear that. Tomakarona tikmotika kapora nakarortikaka. Aroa karmor kinechko karatnechko kakamaka. Umakako noriknechko konavaki kumakako konachka kama. Amaratna nachika komakarka nachko kakamaka kakoroko kamarkake. Kamarakta nyokorhichka komora tatana chiko korachika. Tomatikika, Kwamakatatika, Kamaratika, Kwaba, Karadinotika, Parakanamiko, Konatika. So I'm tuning into individually what it is that you feel like you're grieving over, the sense of order that you're grieving over. And I feel just a lot of existential crisis, right? So let's clear all that. Komachato no karitiko kanaka koratika moragatika matakika komakakika kanakaritika kamakakika mora nato ranatiko kanatika kanaka moragatika moratika moragarkika. Iko makakika mokakika moratika nagaratika mandagaratika kaka tomorakata kokaka koratika kaka koratika menika wara nagaratika kaka korakarika koratika korakaramatiko kakaratiko moragarkis moragarka korkati. Kamakake madagatika larana chikeka korakarika. And then for some of you, there's this loss that feels even more personal. Like I sense that some of you may have had a parent or two who was emotionally unavailable or lost, or a parent who was narcissistic. So you never really get to know what it is to be parented by someone who is there for you. And so that deep loss of never knowing what it means to feel supported and loved and validated, right? So there's that deep sense of love when you realize you've been raised by a parent who couldn't be there for you for whatever reason. Could be that they were narcissistic, could be that they were dealing with drugs and addiction. It could be that they were dealing with a lot of things in life that make them really checked out. So it's that loss of a meaningful connection to a parent. Even if they are alive, right? You feel like you can't really connect. So that loss of a meaningful relationship to a parent. And some of you may be on the other side, you may be losing a meaningful relationship to a child. And both are equally painful, whether you're the child or the parent. Yeah. So that for all of you who had parents, of you're a parent and it's a child that you just can't relate to, or you have a child who you just can't connect with for whatever reason. So that's a really personal loss and grief. Yeah. And some of you may have this with siblings, that you just can't feel connected to your siblings. So you feel like there was never a meaningful relationship, or a relationship that can be reciprocated, or relationship where you feel understood. So let's bring all that up. And this even more personal losses for some of you who may have lost a child, miscarriage, premature birth, or accidents, and what have you. Very, very personal losses, or abortions. And a part of you would always feel like there was something there. So let's connect all that. and heal all those losses and know that you can still connect to family you lost, or even a child that you lost, right? Even if you had an abortion, the soul of the child you can still connect with. And sometimes the child, their soul understands. They understand that this is not the time for them to be in this world. And I know that's a deep and painful loss, because there's also a lot of judgment about that, about abortions. And then there's a lot of self-judgment and just personal grief around losing a baby when you miscarry. And some of us just feel like there's always some sadness and loss in the family, and you don't even know where that's coming from. It's possible some of the time that, our moms may have had lost a child before we were born, and back then people just didn't talk about those sort of a thing, right? And what was not talked about, what was not allowed to be healed, still stays in the family system. It's an invisible sadness that's sometimes there in the family constellation. So those losses in families, yeah, let's bless all those premature births, stillbirths. Bless all the moms and children. Yeah, and your body and your spirit would be just drawn to working with loss, and you don't know why. So that's a part of you, that's your soul looking for healing, because everything is looking for completion, healing, acknowledgement. And when we can just breathe and acknowledge all the losses, it makes everything easier to deal with. And there's not that energy that almost feels like an invisible energy that just seems to have some control over your life. You don't even know why. So all those repressed, unexpressed hurts and pain and sorrow, let's bring some love and light to all that. Okay, so that's a lot of losses of babies. And then, yeah, I see that in some of us, some of you who had a parent who, through divorce, one parent gets to have the children and the other just wasn't there. The loss of never having a parent, whether it's a father or mother, around you through divorce or whatever separations that go on. Let's bring up the energy of that and bring some love and light to all those losses of a relationship, meaningful relationship, with a parent who just couldn't be there. And then some of you went through this process when you were young. I think psychologists call it parentification. And that is, you have to act like a parent at a very young age, because you had a parent who was immature or on drugs or just wasn't ready to be a parent. And you came into this world to be a healer. So that means you probably had to be, you probably chose families where you have to heal one or both parents. So that parentification, and it feels like a part of you lost out on what it means to be playful, what it means to be taken care of and feel cared for, and to be carefree, and to be playful, and to have a childhood, right? So it's multiple losses. Yeah, it's multiple losses where it's feeling like you wonder who you are. If you are always having to be the one to figure out what other people want and what other people need and want from you, you lose a sense of true self. And you're always wondering, why am I doing this? Why am I taking care of everything and everyone? What do I really want, right? So that sense of connectedness to your own heart and soul and spirit. Yeah. So all the woundings, all the losses that go with the whole process of experiencing yourself going through parentification at a very young age. And it feels like there's quite many of you because you're all healers. So you feel like you have always been there for others, to heal others, and kind of lost yourself, lost that sense of magic, lost that sense of possibilities, lost that sense of innocence. Yeah. And that has created a sense of emptiness deep, deep, deep within, right? So let's fill all those places and spaces with love and untangle from that whole web of loss and grief and abandonment. And the painful abandonment is abandoning yourself, your heart. Ko maka kono te karkech ko tratina ko karate no karkech ko. Kitona ko rati karkari karkarati ko ka. Mich moka ke moka kamarati ke kamaka ko karati ka kana chika kanwo ritini ka ka. Tomarike ke kamarisi ke ka kono karisi ke ka maka morati ke matika ka kamake. Araka ka karati ko ka ko ka marati ke ka. Ko ka maka I kana rechika ko maka ke ko maka ka rotina ko rechika ka marati ka. Paru karachika ke kumakata no karachika ka mara narachiko maka kamara karachika chumachika kumarachika ka amora kanachika karakarachiko ranachiko kaka tomara karachika ka kanachiko karakarachiko karakachiko kanakako marachika ka kino karachika kanakarachika porakatika kara poraka chumachiki kanakarachiki kanakarata karakachika marachika marachiki Karakarachiki, Karakarachiki, Karakarate Mata, Tomato Donishkika. Imakaron na chika maraki, imaka kumana chika ka, kumakaki na chika, kumakako, marakarki, machiko kakamaka kumana chika ka. Rachino korechi neki, rachino korachi keka, mukamari chika, korach katchike, konokarana chika, kumakaki, katuma chika, kona chika, rachino korkari chikara. Amo kamarakara kona chika, kano rachano ka. This feeling all along in the world. And let's just see where in your bodies you really feel the hurt, the pain, the emptiness, the loneliness. So many of us are feeling that way right now in the world. So we're just gonna bring some love to all those parts that feel loss, loneliness, deep, deep, deep loneliness and disconnect from the whole world. And for some of you, this can also be a pattern that has been in your families for a long, long, long time. So for some of us, it's the subconscious, unhealed patterns and families. So let me just connect with the family constellation. Yeah. I release all this from the lung, meridian, the large intestine, and your whole body. Chun mata karotid me kokrit korti me kokrit kokran karotid me rodet kaka. Tinota chinikoka, kanota chinikoka, katake kokarati kaka. Rakanota jekato, tamakato denjikako, konachichin machikaka. Datana chikaka, kanitikoka, kanakarachiko karatiko, konachiko konachika konmarachika. Ratno karachiki, konakarachiki, kanakarachiki kaka. Parakakoka, kanachiko, karachikika, konakarachike, komarachikaka. Yeah, I'm feeling on our next call, we're going to continue this because I feel like on the next call, I really want to be in touch with healing family systems where this happens over and over because it feels like some of you never felt like you quite have a parent. Some of you feel like you never quite gotten along with your children. So it's the whole family system thing, and then all the secret losses that keep you all from really being here. And it's very critical also to do a soul retrieval on all the soul fragments, the lost soul fragments. So we will continue this on the next call next Wednesday. But I want to just spend a couple minutes with all of you and a couple minutes really honoring the teaching of a Buddhist master that many of you know about, Thich Nhat Hanh. And, it's really close to his 94th birthday. He wants all of us to honor him by just holding a peaceful, compassionate place for each and every one of us on the call and for each and every one of us on a replay. So I just want to take a minute and honor his request to be of service to the world by being that space of peace and compassion in the world. And I know that each and every one of you have contributed immensely to the world by being who you are. So I want to acknowledge that about all of you. And I just want us all as a group to send some love and healing to Thich Nhat Hanh, this loving teacher who has been teaching peace for so many years. And he is someone, his work really changed my life. So we're going to send love and light to him. Yeah, grateful that he has spent so many years on this planet being a beacon of peace and compassion and action. And grateful for his service to humanity for so many years. Makato randa toka te kandis koka kanakarachikaka kumakarana chikaka karakarakarisinikakwa karakarichikoka karakarako karakarichika karakarachikoka kamakarika. And I think for any one of you on this call right now who also speak light language, you're welcome to unmute yourself. And we will all just do our light language song together, a light language song of peace, love, and compassion, honoring the master, the Buddhist master, Thich Nhat Hanh. How about that? So you're welcome to mute yourself if you would like to share your light language. And I wonder who wants a chance to share their light language of peace. Marie, you're unmuted. Would you like to do that?
It's not, I'm not quite sure if I'm ready to let that come through just at the moment, but I said I'd turn my mute off so that I can give myself a chance to let that happen. So bear with me. Please ask someone else if they'd like to, but thank you for the opportunity.
Sure. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay, it is just as lovely for us to send him love and light and deep gratitude for all that he has contributed to humanity. Tomoraka no chikaka, ratna korkachikaka, tomoraka no korkachikaka, kanakarichika, kimakarana chikaka, marara no korkachiki, kanakorachikika, tomoraka rindikoka, chamachapara karichika, ratna korachika, komakarana to korachika, porkachikika, komachikaka, korakarakika, konakaramatika, konakaramatika, kanachikoka, nachikaka. All right. So for next week, we will continue. And for next week, we will do a healing on our family constellations over grief and loss, the hidden, invisible grief and loss that goes back many generations. And then do soul retrieval that goes with that. All right, everybody. So namaste, and I will see you all next week. Thank you for shining your light and weaving grace into the fabric of the world. For more on my work, please visit gracegihum.com or lightbodywisdom.com. Thank you and namaste.